rules in the locker room. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. This is good. This is good. Let's keep your punches up. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you. Good luck, seconds.
It's our next matchup here. Luis Collazo, who's been away from the ring since February of 2017. We will get into that with our own Jordan Harney in moments. But he's taking on that man, Bryant Perrella. Perrella coming off a win back in December of last year over Alex Martin. As you see that both are southpaws, and that's something that is a rarity in boxing, Caleb.
Absolutely, something you don't see very often, but at the end of the day, it's basically like two right-handers fighting each other, so I don't know how uncomfortable it'll make him.
Luis Collazo won the world title back in April of 2005 in Worcester, Massachusetts. Just to show you how long Collazo's been around, he actually defended it and lost it to Ricky Hatton back in May of 2006. Also fought Keith Thurman back in July of 2015. That was down in Tampa, Florida. Lost by 7th round stoppage, did Collazo, but Collazo pumping out his jab. Collazo feels that he still has quite a bit left in the tank and can make one more run at a world title.
Bryant Perrella using that left hook to the body early, trying to invest in some body work, trying to slow down, wear down Collazo.
Nice right hook connecting by Bryant Perrella. It's a fight that certainly a lot of people have, the hardcore fight fans really are interested in this matchup because Perrella's 15-1 with 13 knockouts. You know how crafty and how durable Luis Collazo is as well. Actually, in his last outing in February of last year, put out Sammy Vasquez Jr.
Youth definitely on Perrella's side, but even if he's able to pull away and, you know, start boxing Collazo well, he's going to have to be on point at all times because Collazo, he can put people to sleep at any point.
Yeah, Collazo's very dangerous. A straight left hand for Collazo. They both exchange hooks. Nice right hook by Collazo, backing up Perrella. And Collazo's confidence is starting to grow as Perrella goes backwards. Now he steps in with the right uppercut.
Another good left hook, right hook to the body by Perrella.
Collazo's trying to walk him down, but as he does that, Perrella's stepping to his side a little bit and throwing that check right hook.
Definitely taller, longer guy like Perrella. You know the shorter guy, Collazo, is going to have to step to you. When he does, that's what sets up the check hook for you to circle out, move back to the center of the big part of the ring, and start over.
And Perrella placing that jab right in the face of Collazo, but Collazo coming right back. The action heating up here in round one. Collazo coming forward. Good exchanges that we've been seeing between the two. Not really much of a feeling out process.
Yeah, it didn't take long to get past that. Little swelling.
And round one is in the books. The action picking up. Bryant Perrella, Luis Collazo mixing it up. You're watching PBC on FS2.
Welcome back to PBC on FS2. The last time that we saw Collazo in the ring was a year and 6 months ago when he had an amazing knockout over Sammy Vasquez, and he hasn't fought since, but that wasn't by choice. He suffered a torn bicep in his left arm during training after the Vasquez fight, and he said he just threw a punch and it popped. He admitted it's from wear and tear of the body because, guys, let's not forget, he's been a pro since 2000. He said the rehab process took 8 months, and he was scheduled to come back in April, but things got pushed back, but he's very excited to return to the ring tonight. Guys?
Thank you very much, Jordan. Well, Caleb, as you get older, it takes a little while longer for your body to heal. You don't have to deal with that, but guys like me and guys like Luis Collazo, it certainly has to happen because, I mean, that is just raw genetics.
Yeah, absolutely. Father time, nobody can escape it. Younger guys, it's just known they heal quicker. They can bounce back easier from injuries as you get older. Those things, that process just takes a little bit longer. So it's good to have him back. Glad that he's healthy and 100%. And you know, he's game tonight. He's coming forward. He's throwing a lot of punches. He's keeping Bryant Perrella on his toes.
Perrella using his jab. And he's trying to keep Collazo at bay, but Collazo does a very good job to cut off the ring as well.
Absolutely. That's something you don't see as much these days. A lot of people, they got problems with cutting off the ring. And whether you're a boxer and you like to stick and move, or whether you are a come forward fighter, I feel like every guy needs to know how to cut the ring off.
Well, the only time that Bryant Perrella lost was back. You would have to go and find his loss to Yordenis Ugas, and that is nothing to frown upon whatsoever, as Ugas started beating undefeated fighters and is becoming and emerged as in the top 10 of the welterweight division. So Perrella was hurt in that fight, and we will get into that story later on with Jordan Harding. But for Perrella, one loss isn't the worst thing in the world, and this is a big opportunity for him here this night. Collazo with the right hook to the body. And you see how Collazo steps in with his right and his left foot, trying to get and stop Perrella from gaining that coveted real estate.
A second ago, that was a good couple of jabs by Bryant Perrella, though. 2 or 3, landing right on the forehead, racking back Collazo's head. He's got to, you know, even if they don't hurt, he needs to step out of the way, try to slip those.
Perrella knows he's in there with a KG veteran, and Luis Collazo, right hook smacking off the side of the head of Collazo. And Collazo eating some jabs as Perrella will tie up as we near the end of round number 2. Nice right hook that found its mark. And that is the end of the second. Bryant Perrella picking up his volume of punches. Look at those jabs. Collazo eating them. And then the right as Bryant Perrella having success. You're watching PBC on FS2. Welcome back to PBC on FS2. There you see Bryant Perrella, who is 29 years of age, with a big opportunity here. He is a 6-year pro, is the man known as the good fella. Actually dons a makeshift tuxedo, as you saw in the introductions, before every single fight as a part of his ring attire. So Bryant Perrella certainly has his own style.
Step back, guys.
Perrella with that jab. Collazo jabbing in as well.
Seems as if Collazo's really trying to cut the ring off and walk Bryant down. I'm not sure if he's felt his power or feels like he has and isn't worried about it, but he's really got his foot on the gas. He's taking some shots on the way in, but I wonder if it's a long-term game plan to wear Bryant down and maybe try and take him out late.
Hooks to the body by Luis Collazo as a minute has elapsed here in the third. But Perrella answers back with a straight left, followed by a right uppercut of his own. And Perrella hammering away on the body of Collazo.
Back to the jab. One's up, two's down.
Both tying up.
Seems as if Bryant is slightly starting to feel the presence pressure of Collazo. He may not be throwing punches every second, but he's always right up on him, always cutting the ring off, always stepping forward, and just the presence of someone always being right up on you and you know close to you on the inside, that can wear you down mentally. Once you wear down mentally, it's easy to get worn down physically. So
70 seconds remaining in the third. Well, Collazo, as you pointed out, it is mental pressure. He has this relentless mindset and this very strong will. A big straight left that connected. Something is on. I believe it's like a mouthpiece. No, it's part of the ring dressing, but Collazo's teeing up on Perrella. And Perrella goes backwards. Big right hook that connected by the 18-year veteran. As Perrella remains in the pocket, but Collazo is emptying out the kitchen sink. Big straight left that found its mark. Collazo hearing the cheers from the fans here in New York.
And if Perrella thinks this is going to slow down anytime soon, he's wrong.
Sadly to be mistaken, because this is Luis Collazo. plenty of high volume, high octane action. He just can kick it into a second and third gear. It's that old adage, pressure bursts pipes, and Collazo with this pressure believes he is going to burst the bubble of Bryant Perrella.
Yeah, and not only that, but Perrella's starting to get sucked into Collazo's game plan, which is exchanges. Perrella does not need to be exchanging with Collazo. That's a good way to catch an 8 count or even get the fight stop.
But now it appears as if there is a laceration outside the right eye of Collazo. Round 3 is in the books. Both men going back and forth as Collazo and Perrella really mixing it up. You're watching PBC on FS2. Welcome back to PBC on FS2. Luis Collazo, as we saw him have some success with the high level of pressure, and he's starting off strong again. You heard the crowd earlier towards the tail end of the 3rd round, Caleb, chant Louis, Louis, Louis. They believe in the 37-year-old, and he feels like this 37 that he has found that fountain of youth and can go for a few more years.
Absolutely. He's, great display of pressure tonight. It's the same thing that Porky Medina tried to do to me. That's what Porky Medina does. He tries to put presence pressure on you. He tries to wear you down with exchanges. And one thing Bryant's not going to be able to do is let him touch him, because fighters like Porky Medina, fighters like Collazo, they build momentum off that. The more they touch you, whether it's your hips or your arms, your shoulders or your head, body, whatever, they're going to build momentum and just continue to pick up the pace. He's going to have to move his feet a little more. He's going to have to use his feints, use his jab to the body, try to slow the pace down and get it back where he wants it. Otherwise, we're just going to see more of the same.
Well, what we're starting to see out of Bryant Perrella, Caleb, is I'm seeing more arm punches. He isn't sitting down on his shots. Could that be because of the pressure and how Luis Collazo is trying to rough him up?
Absolutely. He could be getting pulled out of his game plan and not turn his punches over because of what you said, or it could be he's trying to conserve energy. It could be a multitude of things right now, but it definitely looks like his game plan is starting to unravel.
Midway point of round 4 as Luis Collazo continues with this reckless abandon. Big left hand on the temple. It seemed to rock Perrella. And the referee will separate them, but that left on the temple caught the attention of Perrella. And look at Collazo cut off the ring. He's dunking underneath there. The slight feints as well. Right hook to the body. He's really showing every bit of those 17 years of professional experience. Big shot there by Collazo.
One thing Bryant's doing too is, seems as if he's only moving one way. He's only moving to his right.
By Collazo. Collazo is throwing hooks, and they are landing flush on Perrella.
And while he's doing that, he's keeping his head in the center as he's punching. When he's punching, his head is staying right in the middle for Collazo to come right back with big combinations and big punches. He's going to have to keep his head out of the center while he's punching.
And more chants of Louis here in Long Island, New York, as the fans loving what they're seeing out of the Brooklyn native.
Good check hook by Bryant.
Perrella has to realize he is in an opponent's backyard, and this is certainly an away game, and he has some hostile territory to deal with, along with an unhospitable guest in one, Luis Collazo. Collazo throwing shots to the body, hammering away on Bryant Perrella. Tail end of round 4. And Luis Collazo really throwing as much as he can towards Bryant Perrella. Look at these shots now, straight left that connected, wobbling Perrella. And there's that another straight left on the temple as Collazo coming forward, showing his aggression. You're watching PBC on FS2.
Welcome back to PBC on FS2. Prior to Perrella's last fight, he was out of the ring for 15 months after losing to welterweight contender Yordenis Ugas. That's because going into the Ugas fight, he was basically fighting off of one leg because a bone was growing in his right thigh area. It's a condition called myositis ossificans, which a bone grows in soft muscle tissue. It was due to a sparring session with the heavyweight who accidentally punched him in the thigh, but Perrella said it's completely healed, and his trainer added, moving forward, they will not fight if they have any injuries. Ray?
Caleb, that's a smart move for Bryant Perrella, I mean, because that loss went ahead and that snapped his undefeated streak.
Absolutely. You know, people who are full-time fighters, they don't have a regular job. This is their, what keeps the lights on, what keeps the food in the house, mouth fed. You got to take it serious. And if you have any nicks or bruises or, something that's serious, it's probably better to just take your time, heal, recover, and come back. Because when you force things, as Bryant found out the hard way, sometimes it can mean a loss.
Well, let's take a look at how you have the fight scored thus far, Caleb. You have Luis Collazo at 39-37.
Yeah, Bryant came out, he was staying long, using his jab. I edged it out to him. But ever since then, Collazo's been stepping to him, cutting the ring off, and, taking control of these rounds, being the ring general, dictating the pace.
Collazo unloading on the body of Bryant Perrella, and Perrella still has yet to find an answer for Collazo. Perrella measuring him with his jab. That was a straight left that connected, but look at Collazo with this non-stop aggression, and he does not stop.
One thing I haven't seen from Bryant, I don't think one time, is a feint. And someone who's taller, longer, who's going to want to box on the outside and keep the pace slow, that's something they're going to have to learn to do, is the feint, jab to the body, be a little faster on his feet. Instead of catching punches with a high guard, maybe move his head more and make him miss completely, which would tire out a guy like, Collazo. When people miss punches, that makes you tired.
Well, what stands out about Luis Collazo, Caleb, is he's never on the line. And what that means is that he's always moving his head. He's never coming in a straightforward line that makes him an easier target to connect upon, which may be why Bryant Perrella is having so many issues.
Absolutely, but even if he, doesn't want to punch him on the way in, if he would just feint, that may freeze Collazo and set up some of his own shots. When someone feints at you, as we well know, it can freeze you. It may open up some opportunities.
Well, Perrella looking to spin around Collazo, but Collazo still coming in with his jab, followed by a hook and an uppercut there as Perrella goes backwards. Straight left connecting.
At the end of the day, boxing is just a test of will. Who wants to impose their will on the other person, whether it's boxing or fighting. And right now, Collazo, he's definitely imposing his will.
And that is the end of the round. We'll come back with more PBC on FS2. Welcome back to PBC on FS2. Luis Collazo, bang, look at that uppercut landing, smacking the nose of Bryant Perrella.
Absolutely, like I said before we went to break, Collazo's definitely imposing his will on Bryant. The second half of this fight, he's gonna have to rally. He's gonna have to get motivated. He's gonna have to start moving his feet, feinting, and maybe hitting with some big shots that makes Collazo think twice before he just comes rushing in.
And after being away from the ring for almost 18 months, you think that Luis Collazo would show signs of ring rust. That is not to be the case. In the last 4 years, Collazo has only fought 3 times. Collazo still coming forward. Bryant Perrella's going to be able to switch the momentum of this fight because he is clearly behind. And Collazo stalking him still is not allowing him to breathe much.
That presence pressure, it breaks the guys down mentally. And, once you get wore down mentally, it's very easy to get wore down physically. If he would just feint, maybe move his feet a little faster and, some head movement, keep his head out of the center, little things like that, little subtle things a lot of people don't see. Those are the things that changes the course of a fight. The small subtleties.
Collazo throwing a straight left. Now Perrella trying to back away from Collazo. He looked over at the referee. I don't know why he did that.
His mouthpiece fell out.
So that is what transpired, and Perrella looking to get a little bit of a break, and Tony Chiratito is going to see if there is a time in a lapse in action, but Collazo isn't allowing even that. Perella's just moving around the ring, trying not to get hit. Now he throws some shots. And also, fighting without your mouthpiece is dangerous, Caleb.
Absolutely. I've seen a few lapses, a half-second break where maybe the ref could step in, but maybe he's looking for something more.
That's where he should have stepped in right there.
Yeah. There's been a couple of those, it seems like, but
under a minute left here in the 6th.
Time. Mouthpiece. mouthpiece.
Now Tony Cherotito
Sorry, over here.
is going to rinse off the mouthpiece.
Fix the back of his trunk, Mike. Just the back here.
And I don't know if this is better for Collazo or for Perrella.
That's
Collazo's ready to go.
Mike, no poaching. Over there, Brian. Sorry, Lou. Over there. Time in. Box.
And now Collazo coming forward once again. Perrella using that jab, but he isn't extending fully as much as he was in the first and second round.
No,
Big
he is
straight
not.
left that connected.
Seems like he's slightly starting to fold mentally. You know, he's in there, he's fighting back.
A left uppercut by Luis Collazo. I think Collazo knows he has the 29-year-old hook. Big straight left, right down the middle. Collazo looking for that big home run shot. Collazo having his way with Bryant Perrella. Coming up, we will catch up with Marcus Brown, who's in the ring next. That is, you're watching PBC on FS2. In the ring, you have Luis Collazo and Bryant Perrella, but coming up after this fight, Sir Marcus Brown will be inside the ring in our main event with PBC on FS2. He's standing by with our own Jordan Hardy.
Ray, thank you so much. Marcus Castillo told us that he believes he's the toughest opponent you will have yet to face. Do you agree with that? And where are some areas you believe you can expose tonight?
Well, we'll see about that. And I don't think he's really the toughest opponent I'll face. And we'll expose that soft body of his. He looked real soft down there.
You're currently ranked number 2 in the light heavyweight division. Where would an impressive performance put you?
Well, honestly, there's nowhere to go but up from here, and I'm focused on that. I'm looking at those world title lists, but first, Leonard Castillo tonight.
All right, best of luck to you. Ray, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Marcus Brown up next against Lenin Castillo. But right now, we have Luis Collazo and Bryant Perrella, round number 7. This one's scheduled for 10. Ray Flores, Caleb Plant, ringside here in Long Island, New York at NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veteran Memorial Coliseum. And Luis Collazo just continuing to apply the pressure. It has been nonstop from the first round onward.
Yes, coming out at the beginning of this round, after they settled whatever they were doing in the corner, it's a nice right hook, left hand by Perrella, and he's starting to move his feet a little more. I've seen him slip some punches. I don't know if he's trying to rally or, you know, put it all on the line, but it's good to see him, you know, doing something.
Nice uppercut by Collazo. Collazo using his jab as well. And the item that really stands out about Luis Collazo is he's throwing a lot of power punches, but he always seems to find a way to mix in the jab as well, Caleb.
Yeah, he's going back to his jab. He's starting with jabs, and he's ending with jabs. Jabbing to work his way in. Once he's getting there, he's letting off big combinations, like you said, and then right after that, he's going right back to the jab. Perella's hands are low. His head is right in the center. He's not moving it, and that's why he's getting caught.
Well, a few moments ago, Bryant Perrella threw like 3 or 4 jabs, and Collazo, in various different angles, parried them away and blocked them. So I think Collazo has some underrated defense.
Absolutely. You know, as long as he's been in the game, as many top fighters as he's fought, you're going to learn little tricks, little subtleties, little things that may not catch the eye of, you know, every viewer. But, you know, the parrying, the slipping his head a little bit this way, a little bit that way. Collazo's got a little bit of everything.
Well, Perrella certainly seems to not be enjoying what he is getting out of Luis Collazo. Collazo's making him work and is putting him in uncomfortable positions. Nice right hook that connected by Luis Collazo. Under a minute left here in round number 7.
Surely Perrella in his corner knows he's behind, and, you know, he's got to know he's behind, but he's still just moving his feet, being a little lackadaisical, trying to slow the pace down. At this point, you know, he needs to be planting his feet, pressing forward, trying to back Collazo off of him, and trying to go out on his shield. You know, that's something I would like to see. Whether he gets his hand raised or not, you know, warriors, they go out on their shield, so.
Final moments of round 7. Luis Collazo again controlling the action against Bryant Perrella. That's the end of the 7th. You're watching PBC on FS2.
Over both eyes. You're giving him the real
Welcome
estate.
back to PBC on FS2. There you see there in the corner of Bryant Perrella. Would you like to hear more sense of urgency out of the corner, Caleb?
A little bit. You know, his corner is telling him that during the middle exchanges to tie up, which is smart. But he doesn't want to tie up and slow the pace down too much because he's got to get his own work in. He's behind on the scorecards. Collazo looks strong. It doesn't show any sign. He doesn't show any signs of slowing down. So he really needs to be putting things together these last 2 rounds for sure.
Let's take a look at your unofficial scorecard. Caleb, how do you have it?
I got Bryant coming out in the first round. You know, boxing well, dictating the pace slightly, using his jab, but everything after that has been all Collazo. He's taking control. He's being the ring general. He's cutting off the ring. He's throwing more combinations. He's more lively. He's boxing lively. Bryant Perrella, he's looked a little bit lackadaisical after the first round.
Now the trainer, Michael Nowling, in Bryant Perella's corner saying, hey, you need to win these next 3 rounds. So somewhat of urgency. Big right hook that connected, followed by a straight left. Could that be what Bryant Perrella needs? Because he rattled the skull and the chin of Luis Collazo.
Most definitely, and if he would have been, you know, tying up during those exchanges, he may not have landed that. Right now, he just needs to focus on doing everything he can, you know, to get an 8 count, to drop him, to hurt him.
Well, Bryant Perrella has his impressive record up for grabs at the moment. 15-1, 13 knockouts. His only blemish, loss at the hands of your Dennis Ugas. And now it looks like Collazo is inviting Perrella in.
It seems like he may be taking a breather. He's done a lot of work this fight, maybe trying to just, you know, get a quick breather. A little swelling on the left eye, Collazo as well.
Is it one of those things that, okay, I'm willing to take off a round so that I can have enough left for the last 2?
Maybe, but if I was him, I wouldn't be taking off on the sitting on the ropes against a big, you know, young guy like Bryant Perrella. If he's going to take some time off, he needs to get on his bike, which means move his feet, you know, feint, throw some jabs, and slow it down that way, recompose himself, and go back to work. If he's sitting on the ropes, he could wind up, you know, running into something big, and, you know, that could change the course of the fight.
Well, as Collazo was languishing on the ropes, he connected with the right hook. But I will say that there is some swelling underneath the left eye of Luis Collazo, compliments of Bryant Perrella. A straight left followed by a right hook to the body, and now Perrella seems to be hurt. He's smiling. That's an indication he's hurt. Big straight left. Another one. Collazo pouring it on as he goes right after the 29-year-old. 2 big straight lefts.
He's jumping on him, trying to get him out of there.
Look at Collazo go for it. The 18-year veteran hammering away on the body of Perrella. Big straight left
right
by
on the chin.
Perrella. By Collazo, I stand corrected. Wow. Luis Collazo finding that fountain of youth.
If Bryant doesn't tie up, they're going to stop it. If Bryant doesn't tie up, they're going to stop it.
Perrella goes down. That should be ruled a knockdown. No, it is not. Perella's almost out on his feet. And that is the end of the 8th. We'll come back for a riveting 9th round as Bryant Perrella almost out on his feet. Luis Collazo with straight lefts, pouring it on in abundance. Boom, straight left. You're watching PBC on FS2.
Let's go.
Welcome back to PBC on FS2. Bryant Perrella was getting lit up by Luis Collazo, and now the doctors are going to look at Bryant Perrella. Michael Nowling, the trainer of Perrella, took a long time to get out of the corner. And now Collazo's going right after Perrella. I wonder Perrella still does not have all his faculties about him, because Collazo is going in to try to finish this fight.
Yeah, he's going in for the kill for sure. Bryant, if he doesn't knock him out, you know, go for broke and start throwing some really big shots, you know, he's probably going to walk away with a loss today. He's got to knock out Collazo for sure.
Collazo sensing that the end might be near for Bryant Perrella. And look at Collazo stepping inside, big straight left. Collazo again attacking Bryant Perrella. Big straight left that found its destination. 45 seconds off the clock here in round 9. but you have to give it to the toughness of Bryant Perrella. Many guys would have had their wills broken already, not Bryant Perrella.
Another thing, Brian, he's moving his feet as he punches, which is good. You know, there's nothing wrong with moving around the ring. But at this point in the fight, he's got to know where he's at. He's got to be seasoned enough and smart enough to know where he's at in the fight and set down and start, you know, landing some big, heavy shots on Collazo.
Let's send it to
land something.
Let's send it to the third member of our broadcast team. Here's Jordan Hardy.
Ray, thank you. I'm over in the corner of Bryant Perrella, and I'm sitting next to some of the doctors in the commission here that aren't working this fight. And they're trying to tell the other doctors in Perella's corner, hey, you need to stop this. He does not need to continue. So we'll see what they'll do, but the other doctors watching aside, they think this fight needs to be stopped, right?
Thank you very much, Jordan. Astute reporting by Jordan Hardy to give us that analysis from the doctors who are not working this fight.
As Jordan was reporting, you know, getting her story out, Collazo landed a couple of really big body shots on the inside while he had Brian on the ropes.
This is the kind of beating that you wonder it will take years off a fighter's career.
I think they should stop it. I think they should step in. He's lost almost every round. Collazo is looking strong. He's not looking tired. Bryant is. There's really no point in letting it go on, you know.
Well, Perella's just going into full-fledged survival mode.
Yeah, he's in survival mode. You know, it seems like he's been broke down. I think the ref should, you know, call it quits.
Collazo trying to get that coveted stoppage. What a statement that would be after 18 months away from the ring to halt Bryant Perrella. And he continues to hammer away and come with a reckless abandon. Collazo is having his way, but Bryant Perrella remains vertical. And that ends the 9th. Bryant Perrella has some soul searching to do, and let's take a look at some of the work from Luis Collazo.
Yeah, meleeing, just throwing, you know, big combinations, not too much on it. Every one of them trying to get the rep to step in and stop it. Wasn't able to do so, but definitely a great combination by Collazo.
Michael Nowling, they are in the corner of Bryant Perrella.
You got to go for it. You got to go for it. We're down. You got to go for it. You got to give me everything you got. Everything. Where's the water? I need everything, B. What you live for, baby. We got to go out there and get it. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Well, he said you have to go for it. Michael Nowling telling Bryant Perrella you have to go for it. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to go and execute it. Do you think that Bryant Perrella has the wherewithal to deal with someone who is as tough and pull out this miraculous victory?
I mean, you never want to say never. Every boxer has a puncher's chance, but you know, he's lost a lot of steam on his punches. Like you said earlier, he's not turning his punches over all the way. Like I said earlier, he's moving his feet a lot when he punches, so he's not going to get super good leverage on that. You know, it's hard to see that happening, but that's the great thing about boxing is anything can happen.
Big straight left that clobbered Bryant Perrella. Collazo doubling up on the jab.
The thing about Collazo, as he's stepping to him, for the most part, he's keeping his head out of the center, either, you know, dipped over to the left, dipping over to the right, parrying the jab. That way he's, you know, he doesn't get countered or, you know, he'll get hit with anything too big.
Collazo straight left. And now another one. Perrella with his back on the ropes. This is bad and dangerous territory for him. It's almost like he's too tough for his own good. Approaching the halfway mark of the 10th and final round.
On the way out just a second ago, Brian threw a, you know, small double left hand, but he was moving his feet as he does it. If he's going to want to change the course of this fight, he's going to have to plant his feet and start throwing some bombs.
And Chancellor Louis echoing here at NYCB Live here in Long Island, New York, as the New York Brooklyn are cheering on their man, the former champion and world title challenger in Luis Collazo. And so far, he has turned back time and is looking like he is 28 instead of being that of 38 and 37.
Absolutely. He said he has a lot left to show the boxing world, a lot left in the gas tank, and he's definitely shown it tonight. You know, Collazo with that knockout over Sammy Vasquez, and then tonight over another young guy like Bryant Perrella, he's showing, you know, maybe he does still belong here at the top.
No matter who Luis Collazo fights next, he is going to give them headaches because he has done exactly that, along with giving a beating to Bryant Perrella. 20 seconds remaining in the fight. A big right hook followed by a straight left. But the chin and the will of Bryant Perrella has been tested, and he is leaving likely on his feet. What determination, but tonight it was Luis Collazo who has his moment. They both show a sign of respect, and it's like the old guard talking to the new guard, but the old guard tonight likely will prevail. As Luis Collazo, knowing that it is only a matter of formality for him to get the W. Bryant Perrella was tested. He came up short, but we will come back and get the official decision. You are watching PBC here on FS2. Welcome back, PBC on FS2. Luis Collazo feeling like he is on his way to a W. Bryant Perrella tested. But let's take a look at the second half of the fight where Luis Collazo, Caleb, really started to take over.
Absolutely. In the latter part of the rounds, Collazo really picked it up, put his foot on the gas, and was taking it to him. You know, Bryant putting up a good effort, fighting back in spurts, but it wasn't enough to keep him off of him. Round 9 was more of the same. Collazo working his way in with the 1-2, letting off combinations, and Bryant not answering back with much. Round 10, more of the same. Collazo cutting out the ring, taking it to him, and you know, just outworked him.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Alan Nace has the contest 95-95, a draw. Overruled by judges John Matvis, who has it 98-92, and Ken Ezzo, who has it 96-94 for your winner by majority decision, Luis Collazo. So Luis Collazo improves his record to 38-7. Some nice mutual respect. However, Caleb, I have